As we start today, so first off, Mr. Langenkamp lied to us.
It's okay.
He's not coming in today.
Last hour.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Has
So,
anyone in this class not gotten this speech?
This year.
I think we're all in Calc.
He didn't come to my cup
I
class.
haven't gotten.
He didn't come to cup.
Oh, you did it?
No, he was supposed to come to our cup, but he didn't come.
well, he'll be
Other EQ class.
probably. Well, he's got someone coming in, I think, to do something. But anyway, so he'll be coming in tomorrow. So look forward to that and seeing his face. Before we get going on worksheet number 3, are there any questions that you have about the question up here? Quotient rule, product rule, couple days old. You guys have had 2 days to kind of work through this. Can someone explain these rules to me using words and not numbers or equations? You can use words like derivative and subtract and that sort of thing.
Can you use variables?
Yeah, you can use variables. So product rule, that's the easy one. How would you say that?
Times b, add a times derivative of b to b times derivative of a.
Yeah, exactly. So product rule, you got a function where you got 2 different functions that are multiplied by each other. You pull one of them out, take the derivative of the other, and then to that you add the opposite. You would pull the opposite one out and multiply that by the derivative of whichever one you did do the derivative of the first time.
Can I express that with like symbols like a derivative, b derivative?
What's the question?
Can I like just write out like a derivative?
Yeah.
B derivative.
As long as you know what you're writing, yeah. Placido.
Is this going to be on the final?
Yeah.
But we don't have to take the final. If we take the
Semester.
Well, this is a year-long course, so you have to take the first semester final.
Am I gonna be the only one who has to take the last one?
Well, maybe.
what? You're not taking the test?
Well, he's a sophomore.
I'm a junior.
Or
You can still take the AP
I'm
test.
a sophomore, guys.
No,
The
thought you were talking about
sophomores
seniors
think
or
that they're gonna win
No,
Sparta.
I'm talking about AP test.
They're
If you take the AP test,
They're
you
wrong.
don't have
I'm
to
going to
take
bring
the
my dance pad and
We
everything.
beat the seniors
Nobody's
last year.
ready.
Nobody's gonna.
Hey, Kylie.
Let's. Oh yeah. Kylie says hi.
She said hi.
Yeah.
Aw.
She
I
did?
got. Hang on. Hang on.
Oh no! No!
Kylie! What up,
Hello! My darling!
Hello! I'm not
Look,
supposed to
Kylie.
be here.
We love you!
Get a load of this.
Well, let's try to take the dust, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, trust me. Angel dust. Angel dust.
Oh gosh. I suppose she should be able to see the question here. So, we talked about the quotient and product rule a couple times ago. So you just have to be able to describe it. We didn't do the quotient rule yet, though.
Not yet.
How do you do the quotient rule?
Take things out.
The denominator and multiply the derivative of the numerator and subtract it from the numerator times the derivative of the denominator and divide it by the denominator squared.
You got it. So the trick to remembering the quotient rule is just somehow to drill into your mind that it's the denominator that you pull out of that equation first, and not the numerator.
We have a quiz.
No. I can give you one, though, if you want.
Let's go.
I don't mind.
A quiz on this?
I think it was free time.
I don't mind.
Questions on worksheet number 3.
Well,
The answer key will be available on Schoology, of course. So, alrighty.
Sometimes you gotta look at this like, how do you act?
I'll come around and get those sheets then, and we'll move on.
I'm setting a time. This was less than that.
Sorry.
Good job on the quotient rule.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
What?
So,
Too much tip.
we've got some new stuff we're going to talk about today. Today is super important, everybody, and the reason it's super important is because it is probably the most important rule for derivatives that you will see. It is the one that will allow you to take the derivatives of more things than any other rule specifically. So,
Kylie's homework is how many important we said today.
what's that?
Can you say important?
Oh,
That's our
okay.
homework.
So, I'm going to put a function on the board,
Fun.
and I'm going to see what your opinion is on how to solve it.
It's just like a new.
Don't. Function has the word fun in it. It is fun.
We put the fun in function.
Let's do
You got it.
Could that be our AP Physics logo?
We put the fun in function? I think that's a fun one.
That's what AP Physics.
That would be important.
That's more of like a calc shirt, but still. Let's do it, Katie.
You guys can do this one, right?
Oh,
No,
wow.
That's 2x.
Oh!
Got him.
Burn.
Wait, we've done this before.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
Why?
Wait. All right, losers, let's go. We don't need it. Katie, we've done this. We did this last year, didn't we?
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's me, the new teacher, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to do this. First off,
We've learned this.
no.
One. It's one.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not because of the plus.
It's one.
But because of the
Yeah,
plus.
apparently.
Zero.
You just hit the
We've
Yeah, can I
done
get your
this
notes real
before. This is driving me
Sure
crazy.
didn't take you guys long to mutiny.
What?
What? Okay.
You didn't take us long to meet me. You guys not millions.
As soon as you were out the door, I was like, all right, we don't need him. Quite literally.
We're fine. We're good.
We'll watch the video later. Okay. So, we gotta figure out how to solve this.
You put parentheses after
I
one.
haven't
Yeah,
seen
you
this
put
before.
first. You
You're like,
get rid of to get rid of the square root thing.
Oh, I see.
but
You just
I don't know.
No, wait. It's
You just write
Wait,
one
you should
square.
know.
So you write like
Well,
parentheses x
What if I don't want
squared plus 1.
You have to.
1.
Don't.
Okay. Well, that's a good start.
And
And we can do this individually, but somehow we gotta do something with the exponent. So here's how this all works, folks. Whenever you have a function f prime x, that is equal to the function f prime g of x multiplied by g prime x.
that's what I was
What is the title of our notes?
The title of your notes
Important.
will be
Also, you have a lot of parentheses in that. Important.
thinking.
You
Yeah,
have
it's
a
like
lot of parentheses going on there.
shy.
Shame.
the only thing wrong with my parentheses is you just don't understand them.
Chain rule.
If you look at my work, you will see there were parentheses everywhere, so I don't have a problem with parentheses, but there's extra parentheses.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I figured I did something somewhere. So, this rule, which I'm just going to erase, because
I was gonna copy that.
whenever I would see like those rules just in that theoretical letter form. You guys want me to put it back up?
No,
No,
it's good.
no.
I just want to.
No.
Because, yeah. Oh, sure. I'll put it back up. I'll do it right this time.
That's some new stuff.
I know. I'm trying to catch
You know, with some teachers, I have just
Don't
given
get
up
too excited,
writing
man.
notes because they constantly erase stuff, or like they say, "Oh, you didn't actually need to write that down," or then they like do like fill up their whole board in lines, and then they go in between the lines as though you were supposed to leave a spot there, and
Honestly,
yeah, I feel
if
that.
anyone ever does that,
It makes me upset. It's so neat this time.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, the first time you have an extra parenthesis.
Okay.
It's okay now.
it's up
You
from
can
prime
technically add another parenthesis.
I think I will.
Well, but then you can also technically.
Okay, now I'm confused. Now I'm very confused.
You could technically after F prime and before and
Okay,
at the
stop
end of it
making
again.
adding more. I'm
Okay.
confused now.
So here's what this actually means if you put this craziness into real world talk. All you're doing to take the derivative of this is you're going to take the derivative of the outer function, leaving the inner function the same, and then you multiply that by the derivative of the inner function. Wouldn't it be nice if they just said that?
One more time.
Take the
Wait. That's
no,
not.
you'll see it when we go through
Can
these.
you like when you say it, can you just
Here's the simple way to remember. Derivative of the outer function times derivative of the inner. And you will see what this means right now.
Okay. Please show me.
I'm not sure if this is right for me.
This function, what would you say the outer function is?
Square root. One half.
outer function?
Yeah.
Just 1/2.
1/2, because it's outside the parentheses. So, if I'm going to take the derivative of the outer function, I'm going to pull that 1/2 out in front and subtract 1 from the exponent. Just like we did like derivative of x squared. You take the exponent on top and bring it out in front.
So you're treating the stuff in the parentheses as like an x to get the exponent over.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So we're halfway there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
We're getting somewhere.
So that's the outer function, the 1/2. This is the inner function. We have now taken the derivative of the outer function. This inner function has remained the same. But now to finish this off, we have to multiply this by the derivative of the inner function. Which is what?
X. 2x.
Yeah. And that's your answer. That's how the chain rule works.
Oh.
You take the derivative of the outer function, which is usually an exponent, do what you got to do with that, bring it out in front, subtract 1 from it, and then to that, you multiply it by the derivative of the inner function. And you do that every single time. I'll go through 3 examples. I'll have you do 3 examples.
Yeah,
and
you have
then
to simplify it then?
No.
Done with that
Yeah,
part?
that's it.
You can if you
I
want
mean,
to.
you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no, nice.
Oh, sorry. You're still going?
I got
You got it though. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can figure it out. You're Potter.
it. Sure.
So if I was to take the derivative of this function, it's very similar to the last one we did. The derivative of that function y with respect to x, I would have to pull out the 100, because that's the outer function. I have to take the derivative of the outer function first. Inner function remains the same. And then I just multiply that by the derivative of the inner function. So, yep. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, I got some more examples I'll show you. But
Things that seems too easy.
Anyone else figure out that stuff later?
there are just a couple small things that we gotta make sure we're aware of, but that's the gist of it.
So it is too easy for now.
Just fill out the rest of it for me. Oh, you got a pen. Cool.
We have the same pen.
Nice. Street fighting legends think alike. So the next one, of course, we gotta see how this works with trig functions.
Okay.
Here we go, those trig functions. So the big thing with these problems is just identifying what the outer function and the inner function are. What would you say the outer function of this would be? Yeah. I mean, yes. So then...
Replay!
What's the derivative of sine?
Cosine!
Yes.
Nice.
I didn't
Did
even
somebody
notice
make
that there was
fun of-
something wrong with until you all of a sudden were like, I mean,
I raise my voice like whenever I get excited or.
like, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
2 orcs.
So then, inner function, of course, is x squared. So yeah, times 2x.
2 orcs.
All right, this one we got to make sure we're aware of.
Oh.
So,
Is
when,
it EX squared or EX2?
well, that's the question.
X squared to e to the power.
What do you suppose is the inner function for something that looks like this?
Inner is 2, outer is EX.
I'll say E2X.
Or EX is
E
inner,
to
2
2X.
is outer.
Wouldn't this be E and then X squared? 2X.
In this case, when you're dealing with e and you're dealing with something up in the exponent here, you're always going to be treating this as your inner function. So the outer function is e to the whatever, just like all the other derivatives we've taken with e, the derivative of that is the same thing. So the derivative of the outer function is just e to the x squared. Multiply that by the derivative of the inner. X squared is 2x when you derive it. So that would be your answer for this one.
Interesting.
E to the x is like nice but confusing sometimes. Alright, I got 3 that I'd like you to do, and then I will give you the homework. The cool thing about the homework is that it is not due until the day after tomorrow, because this does go one step a little bit deeper into the weeds. Not too far, but...
Boss, it'll bring weed killer tomorrow.
Bring what?
Weed.
Oh, weed illegal.
Why? For it. Why is that not legal?
So it's not completely legal, so it's partially legal.
It's in the name of science.
I'll bring brown.
Technically, if you say it's for science, you can do it.
That's right.
It's here like a one.
Not if you got a scale in your car.
We do the Oklahoma Zero.
Yes and no. I feel like Andrew's just enjoying this class.
And it never talks.
He is the wisdom.
Don't
I
talk.
just said that.
Yeah, it just says.
It's kind of like AP Bio. You just
Whoa. And there's too
That's
smart.
a little feisty there.
I just
What?
said that in the class.
It's too smart.
What, me? Oh, that.
Like, like, I'm not smart, that's why I'm talking. But you guys are smart, so I'm always talking.
Oh,
Always.
I'm not smart.
Oh, that first one was a little.
I just pretend to look at you. Right?
All right.
Yeah.
Take the derivative of these 3 functions.
Last one is still E.
The answer is 0.
Incorrect.
1.
E cosine.
We're gonna get there eventually.
No.
It's e sine of x times cosine of x.
Yes.
Thank you.
Perhaps.
You are welcome. You are welcome.
Say like 3 more.
Oh,
You are
wait.
You're welcome.
Wait a second.
Quotient rule. And you get
I don't like that. If I think
guys
I
are
know
number
what
2.
I'm supposed to do, I don't like it.
Doing?
So it's supposed to be 1 minus
I think I'm thinking too much
Are you
into
trying to float?
Mr. Happy.
It's a very interesting view from this angle.
Yeah. Keep working.
I can just see your shoes.
Working.
I can't do this.
Work, Mr. Happy.
Oh my goodness. I'm not okay.
Oh no. Okay, I do have a question. Do we have to do the quotient rule for number 1?
He's busy.
What now?
Do we have to do the quotient rule for the first one? Because I really don't want to.
I don't think so.
No? Okay, good. I was thinking way too much into it.
Alright, I'm making it out of this one.
Where'd he go?
No.
Stay there. Let me try to do something.
Yeah.
Jump out of there like a jump scare from 5 Nights at Freddy's.
I'm still.
Alright, that.
This is not working well for people.
Didn't know you had a mini staircase down there.
Do you have to go down to the wine cellar?
Yes, I do.
Played a quick
To get some weed killer.
In the wine cellar, you have weed killer? Bad cop.
Where do you keep your weed killer?
What did I just say?
I don't know. I like to keep it in the freezer.
Keep mine in the fridge.
Ooh, that's a good
Next to
place.
the apple juice, right?
Well, you see, when I put it next to the apple juice, sometimes my weed killer smells like apple juice, and I don't really like that, so I put it behind the apple juice.
There you go.
But sometimes I reach behind it thinking that
You
it's
think I
the
know
apple
what's
juice,
going
but I
on?
realize that
Sometimes.
It's the worst when you put apple juice all over your wine. Happens to everybody, though.
when you run out of the apple juice and the weed killer's in the front, you think you still have apple juice. There's weed
We
killer.
are not easy.
No, you won't.
That's like with antifreeze because it looks like Kool-Aid.
Don't test me. I will serve you window cleaner Kool-Aid.
He said it was blue raspberry.
Lawson has a book of tricks he wants to try.
I have not done anything.
Yes, of course. I love getting.
I'm also
my
kind of
friends.
lost.
I am totally not an FBI agent.
Go for about 4 more minutes, and then we'll see if your answers agree.
No.
The trick with this first one is rewriting it into something more friendly before you start
Can
it.
you do a negative exponent?
Yeah.
That would be so much Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
If you do a negative exponent, just move it to the numerator.
Right, that's why I would make it easier.
Or just keep it under one. I don't think that either.
Well, because then I feel like I have to do over. And I don't have to
I'm
do
stuck with second.
Just act like the one, over one or under one is there until the end and
Guys,
just add it.
that's-
We never had square in.
No, Herbie is underneath.
I already forgot everything.
Is it like sine
What were we
x
supposed to
squared?
remember?
Yeah, I mean, this is still, when you flip it, you'll have the negative exponent, but this is still just your inner function.
No, I'm talking about the second one.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you can rewrite this one too.
So it's sine x squared
Yes.
times x.
Hold on.
Wait, is it x squared?
Well, sine of x quantity squared would be how I'd rewrite it. And then, yeah, the squared would be your outer function. The sine would be the inner. And then you just chain rule it from there.
Mr.
Should we go through these now?
Maybe.
Would it be the same as 1 minus cosine squared?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I could.
Oh, wait.
Well,
Wait.
no, I don't think, no, it wouldn't
What
be.
am I doing? I forgot what
I don't know.
Because you're going to have
I
a
think
sine
I
and
did
a
it wrong.
cosine in there.
For the last two, there's sine and cosines in both of the solutions.
Yes.
Maybe I did it right, but I'm 90% sure I did it wrong.
2 more minutes. Get as far as you can.
Maybe more like 88% sure I did it wrong. Give myself some-
I don't know how to do that.
Oh! Yeah. Maybe?
I maybe did something.
Can I see it?
No.
Why?
This is probably wrong. It's not even worth it.
Our biggest trick is not that we are inadequate. You know what I'm saying, Ben?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's what I have.
If we're wrong together. Woo! Yeah.
You're just going to hang it?
Did you like that I just put my head down? I did. I took both of my hands.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our
Catherine.
deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
I'm so sorry.
I always wondered what AP Physics in 8th hour would be like. And now I know.
How many did I lose? 3, I thought.
In other words,
Well,
trial
there's
result.
something seriously wrong with
Fifth
us.
That is a given.
We're going to move AP Physics to 7:15 a.m.
Let's do it.
Honestly,
Honestly, I would do that. You don't want me
Well,
at
I'm in study hall, and
7:15
that means our study hall, I'm down.
I'm always here at 7:15. If the school opened at 6:30, I'd be here early.
You ate right now?
Okay, let's go through these.
Yes.
So, what's the easiest way we can rewrite
A
this?
negative
X
1/3
squared plus X plus
1
1 to the negative 1/3.
Negative b plus or minus.
To the what was it?
Negative 1/3.
1/3.
Why is it negative?
Well, because you have to.
That's
No,
Negative
negative
one.
is the.
Negative would be no.
You don't gotta move it to the numerator.
Sure, yeah, she's not.
It's not.
Well,
It-
I like it as a
She's
numerator.
not wrong.
Flip
She's
it
not
upside
wrong.
down.
It is negative.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
be fractional.
Whenever you gotta flip it.
Yeah.
Hold on,
I was like, are you trying to tell me it's cute?
Because
It's not cute.
I keep the fraction. I didn't move
It's
it.
so you can put your thing down, flip it in reverse.
There you go.
What?
Only real ones remember.
It's fractional.
Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about?
What?
You take, put your thing down, flip
We
it in
never changed
reverse.
for anything else.
Stop.
He's talking about the song Mr. Mace played
Interesting.
last year.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
that's a different. That's
All
a
right.
different.
All right, let's do this here.
Yeah.
So negative 1/3 is in the exponent. That makes this the outer function. So we take that negative 1/3 and we drag it out in front, whether it wants to or not. Negative
Well,
1/3.
And then x
So I
squared
did
plus
quotient
x plus 1, and then it's to the negative 4/3 if I can math.
Yep. So then what do we have to multiply that by?
2x plus 1.
2x
2x plus 1.
Yep. Because 2x plus 1 is the derivative of the inner function.
So, can I leave the 1 on the top like as a fraction? I just do the bottom part. So instead of negative 1/3, I do 1/3.
And then you would have negative
Oh.
2/3?
That's what I have.
Yes.
Okay.
And I leave
Yeah.
the 1 on the top.
Is-
as
in
a
the
fraction.
denominator.
As long as
Look at how nice this
it all
is.
means, as long as it all is the correct answer, that's fine. Simplifying or however you want to write it is fine.
I did
Father, that's
Okay.
what I got.
one, then I did the.
What did we say is a nicer way to write this one?
I have no idea how it's
Sine
Sin
x
x
squared.
squared.
So that makes the square the outer function. So if I'm gonna, I should have a little arrow. So if I'm gonna derive this, then I gotta take the derivative of the outer function. So that 2 is gonna come out in front. Yep. 2 times the sine of x. This is to the 1, and I have to multiply that by the derivative of the inner.
cosine x.
Yep. Very good. And this guy down here.
I just put e cosine x.
That would be
Not
e
quite.
sine of x times cosine x.
That's what I got. Ah, I wrote down the wrong one.
So e to the anything, when you take the derivative, is going to remain that. But because we have the chain rule here, we've got e to the sine of a function. We have to multiply the outer function, e to the sine x, multiply that by the inner function. The inner function is this, in this case. So derivative of sine x is going to be cosine x, and that's what you have. Questions?
No, sir.
Not really.
Homework.
All right. Yeah.
Lateral.
And remember, what does that mean? Oh, Laterea. Coming at ya.
Yeah, but part of the
Potato.
Laterea cuatro.
No, read it.
Si, senor.
Due tomorrow.
Aw.
I mean, not
It's
tomorrow.
not- it's
Day
not
after
what I
tomorrow.
thought it was.
Thursday we get 2 days.
Yeah.
Something dark.
Negative b plus or minus square.
Now,
B plus
Yes.
The only thing
It's from
You
Happy
dropped
Camp.
your phone.
that you might not be able to do real good on this is some of the later
Six.
problems, because they also take into account the product rule and the quotient rule.
See,
So,
I just tried to do that for the
Six
first one.
gives me anxiety.
Look at number 8. That's one.
Last one you got White House.
That's
So the only thing that we're going to do different when we take notes tomorrow is we are going to be incorporating the product rule and the quotient rule into these same problems. But as long as you know those rules, you can kind of figure out where that's going to take place in here. A couple other things to mention. X, Y, and Z are typically your variables. You can see number 2, T is the variable that you're taking that one with respect to. Anytime you see the letters A, B, or C, those are constants. Treat them accordingly. Good luck.